to the DorkLair Collecting live stream. You may notice I am not in my usual spot. I'm in my kitchen because my family is traveling. I'm going to meet them. So my wife took my daughter out to Western Mass because we sold our condo and we're closing tomorrow, and she had to be out there, and I'm back here because I got work tomorrow. And then I got my dog here, who, as soon as I started talking to Larry, he came over from sleeping over there and started crawling on me. So he's in my lap, and I'm very uncomfortable.
So we do have a third host and co-host tonight.
We do. Subbing in for Chris, this guy.
Hey, so you the condo, were you guys using that as a rental? What were you doing with that?
Yeah.
So, how long had you had it in that capacity?
I think we bought it in 2021. It was up on the mountain. It was a ski rental, like a hop away from the mountain, like a quick little like shuttle. They had shuttles back and forth. In a big.
So it was like an Airbnb rental, not a long-term rental.
Right, an Airbnb. So we would go pick our weekends, and usually we would like have it be like the super popular weekends we would rent it out because that's when the money is,
Yeah.
And then we would pick our weekends and go up and go skiing. The problem is it's 3 hours away. And
oh wow!
We just didn't use it as much as we should have, as we wanted to, really. And so it didn't really make sense to keep it.
Were you using a property manager for that, or were you guys handling it yourselves?
No, it's in like a big condo community, so it's got like pretty high fees, but it covers a ton of stuff, and they come in and shovel. They'll check it out if the furnace turns off or whatever, and then they have like, it was really nice. They had like a rec area which had like pool, indoor pool, outdoor pool for in the summer. It's great up there too. Up in Vermont, it's up in Mount Snow, Vermont.
Yeah.
And then,
so was the revenue from the Airbnb, was that covering the mortgage?
It was this year, which is funny because when we decided to sell, but the last few years have been such shitty weather. Like ski weather. Like it's been warm and not a lot of snow. So
right.
The last couple of years we weren't making that much. But Larry, what does it say? Larry, you sound a lot.
I pushed my mic away a little bit. Did that help at all?
It's probably because my mic. Let me turn mine up a little bit here.
So while you're doing that, the reason I was asking these questions, we kept my townhouse as a rental, and the person that was renting moved out at the beginning of January, and I had some repairs and some things to do, and then was looking for a renter, not having any like myself, so I decided to go with the property manager because the person that was in there was a friend, so I was charging well below market value and just breaking even a little over, but I was making about $100 a month on it after everything. But market is going to be probably $300 or $400 more a month, so I decided to go with a property manager, and we're getting some nibbles, but we really kind of went back and forth on, do we want to keep it as a rental? Did we want to sell it? Did we want to go with property management? But I just like the idea of keeping it and putting that letting other people pay for the equity in it, and then using that to help facilitate retirement 20 years from now. But
totally. And
that's, you saying it's 3 hours away, I'm sure that probably played big into your decision to dump it. Ours is just across town, so it's a little different.
Yeah. Really I'm in Boston, so any decent skiing is a bit of a hike. There's a couple of kind of close-ish places, but still, it's just like we just weren't going up enough. And then we were in it with my sister-in-law and my brother-in-law. We bought it together, and they wanted out too, and they were closer, so they were always the ones who were like doing any of the work. My brother-in-law, my sister-in-law is a real estate agent, and my brother-in-law is a contractor, so he did a bunch of like awesome renovations to the place, and she, like both of them really were like taking care of the place.
Sure.
And they wanted out. I would have liked to have kept it, but I can't like the ones who are doing all the work. I can't be like, no, let's keep it, So,
Well, hopefully, and I don't know what the property was like up there. Everything down here at least jumped up enormously between 21 and 25.
yeah. Oh
When
yeah.
you were able to get
We're
something out
making
of it.
a little bit of money for sure,
Good. That's
which is
good.
good.
That's
Yeah.
good. At least you're taking something away from it.
Yeah.
Okay, enough real estate talk. Let's talk
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
important things.
Let me get into the chat before it gets too crazy. All
All
right, we
right.
got Kirby, Cloud, Rob, Zamora, Brick Something, Survivor Based, Jake Rawson, Michael Casper. Let's see here. Endless Fables, Tyler Stevens, Jake Ross. I think I said Jake Rawson. Freaks Figures, Brian Carr, Thralling FR Glory, V Dog, Andy San, Jordan Wholesome Warlock, Tanya McCoy, Kevin McCoy, Benji, and the Collecting Brothers. Okay, so these two are important tonight because both, look at that, side by side, and they donated to the giveaways.
Nice.
So I can do this with my dog, and I got. I'm kind of one-handed right now because he likes to put his arm in the crook of my elbow. All right, so Collecting Brothers has an extra copy of the book that we are doing for the DorkLair book club. I think the date is May 21st. So this will give whoever wins that copy enough time, hopefully, to read it. It's it looks like a biggish book, but the writing is the text is actually pretty large, so it moves pretty quickly. This is a work of basically like historical fiction / fantasy / horror, and it's pretty cool. It's an interesting book. Christopher Buhlman is the author, and the title is Between Two Fires. So Collecting
cool.
Brothers are going to give a copy of that book away. And then Ben G donated a crap load of Glyos. We got a Faden variant over here. We've got another kind of Faden type character, a shifter. We've got a Mischievous over here. Head's not on in the bag. It's like a dinosaur, like a dragon head. And then we have a pair of Scarabite and reverse Scarabite Calgrim figures so it's a bunch. This is going to be three Glyos giveaways in a book. And
Nice.
all of that is Benji. Benji donated all the Glyos, and the Collecting Brothers donated the book. So thank you guys. Let's keep going with the chat here. We got Blake G, My Schizoid Kingdom, Rabbit's Den, Thor Anacostia, Texas 1911, The First 58, J.D. Gibson, Jeremy Govier, Billy Beige, Gears and Sprocket, Ruben Medina, Micah Cleary. Rob Zamora has been a member for 23 months. I think we're approaching or right around, I think that's right around, like we're right around 2 years of members. So he's been in it from the beginning. Anyone else? Pink Lemonade, Louis Christensen, Benny Torres. Oh yeah, we hit 1,000 members in the DorkLair Facebook group, or we hit 1,000, and then I went in and I was like, let me check and see if there's any like disabled accounts, and I kind of deleted them. It brought us back down, but we're at 1,000.
How do you check for that? How can you determine if something's deactivated? I mean, is there just a simple, as an admin, that you can, a simple way to do that?
If I look at the members, it categorizes them. So it's like, these ones are your friends. These ones are members that maybe like ones that have, similar groups or interests. And then there's like a list of ones that are inactive. So I think it's either accounts that were deleted or accounts that are currently suspended, or like you can suspend your account, right? Like you can like pause your account or whatever. They're like kind of those types of ones. Me Without Mew, Mark Calderon, Grizzlehorn, Rick Jones, Dave Orkin, Mark R, Schlock Doc, Mythic Dolphin. I am TJ Williams in the house. Trevor is at at Celebration. So he's in Japan. I know a few people are over there. Dan Larson's over there.
Boy, that's a hike.
Yeah, I think it's 13 hours ahead of us or something like that.
Yeah, I have a friend that qualified. They're having the Masters Olympia in Japan this fall, and I have actually had two friends that qualified for that, and they're both going, but they're like trying to figure out how to change things and fix their setup because that big a time difference. They're going to need. They're going out there like 8 or 10 days ahead of time so their bodies can adjust to the change.
Especially, with all the fitness in the super discipline. Yeah.
It's not just that. You don't always know how your body's going to react to fluid when you go to elevation. That's like when Steph and I go up to the show in Pittsburgh late summer. We drive because I'm not going to take the chance and going to elevation and coming down because some guys will come off the plane holding tons of water. Sometimes guys will come out off the plane. I mean, you just never know how your body's going to react. And when I fly, it doesn't always react the same.
Right.
But yeah, I can't imagine 13 hours on an airplane. I've been close because I flew from Miami to Rome one time, but I took a sleeping pill and I dozed my way through most of that.
I've done really long ones, but it's like with layovers,
Yeah.
Like flying to Greece is tough because it's like where we go, there's not like there's no close air. You got to fly like 3 planes to get to like Drama, Greece. It's like you got to fly to like a main hub in Europe, and then you got to fly to a main hub in Greece, and then you got to fly to like
wherever you're going in Greece. Wow.
So those end up being like super long 12, 13 hour trips, even more.
6'2" to whoever asked how tall I was. And this person said, Larry's Roman holiday. I'll tell you the funniest thing about the trip. So I got over there and I had so many people come up to me and they were like, even if they couldn't speak a lick of English, and I was amazed by how many people could speak English over there. It was so easy to get around between the English that everyone spoke and the little bit of Spanish that I spoke. It's like everyone over there spoke perfect Spanish. So it was great getting around. But I had so many people come up to me and they were like, WWE, you wrestler? And so it was funny because I was like, no, and there were some like, well, let me get a picture anyway. And I was like, okay, so there are probably 15 or 20 people walking around that were the Tower of Pisa or in Florence the days that I was there. Yeah, with some random picture of me from 10 years ago.
Nice. Cool. How about recent pickups? Let's get into recent pickups.
I had a few this week, so I'm debating whether or not to open these. I got the vintage packaging Bumblebee and Gears. Mm-hmm. The Bumblebee I really wanted because this is the Netflix mold that was released at Walmart and basically showed up nowhere, or the places it did show up, it showed up too many. Walmart's distribution is just horrible. It's like Cosmos a few years ago. So I was happy to get that mold, still debating whether or not I want to open it. And then I got this Gears because he had the face from the original art, the one that came out this year, which was amazing. Definitely a top 10 Transformer for the year, had the animation art. Picked up Bone Crusher, my first of the Constructicons. Mm-hmm. And then I have actually Bone Crusher and Scrapper will be getting here. Yeah. Friday or Saturday, and there you go. I've got 2 of those because I want to have robot modes and combined mode. Now, the I can't remember the class sizes, but the Bone Crusher is the Voyager, and then the Scrapper is whatever that next size up. It's like $10 more expensive, but they're the same height.
Yeah.
Is Scrapper heavier? I know they had to do more with the internal mechanism to make it be able to be a leg support.
Yeah, I think maybe slightly heavier.
Okay. Yeah. Someone said they were using
it just feels more premium. It just feels more solid and more, I mean, not solid, because this one has pretty closed in legs. Like,
yeah.
Hold on, let me go to switch this out here. So, Bone Crusher's legs are pretty solid, and Scrapper's legs are hollow in the back, but there's something about this one. It's just like the articulation and the feel of it and everything just feels a little bit nicer. But they're both cool. They both look great, I think.
Well, they said that there was some either heavier plastic or maybe even some metal somewhere in Scrapper since it has to be a leg, and they're not using the skeleton system like the other combiners. It's going to combine, the way Devastator combines, and so you've got the Commander class coming out, which is going to be Hook and Long Haul, the torso, and then the next wave that comes out, Scavenger, who is the other arm, is going to be the same class as Bone Crusher, and then Mixmaster is going to be that $10 more like Scrapper is because he's the other leg.
So Lewis is asking, do they parts form or are they designed with the Devastator parts inside? And they're ready to pretty much assemble into Devastator.
Yeah, on the back of Bone Crusher, you've got part of that forearm, and then the hands themselves come with Hook and Long Haul. So the hands, the head. Actually, I don't know if the head is part of Hook's body or not. I can't tell you that offhand. But the hands and the big purple wing on the front, those are gonna, be attachments.
Yeah.
But so far, I mean, I'm really pleased with what they're doing with this round of combiners. I loved they do vehicle transformations as well. And the vehicle looks really good. In fact, I think on Bone Crusher,
is that what this question is?
Is
do
that
they do vehicle only transformers? What does that mean? Like they transform
vehicle only
into just vehicles and not into like robot mode?
Yeah, I wonder if vehicle mode only. Well, Hot Wheels has some. Hot Wheels did a Bumblebee and Optimus Prime, and there's an Ultra Magnus out there if you can find it. But typically, Transformers are going to be either they do it all or they'll be just robots. Right. Does Scrapper have the Devastator blaster? Yeah. Or no?
I can't remember. I would assume he's right. I don't have all the stuff with me.
Okay.
I would assume so.
Okay. The other two things I picked up, I picked up Solus
for like almost a month now.
Yeah, you had that one well before our last one.
Yeah.
And what's funny is on Amazon, he's available, but Bone Crusher isn't. So I don't know. I had picked up Solus Prime on the last show, found two more Primes, picked up Prima Prime. And these things, the articulation, the posability on these is just fantastic. I mean, these things are it's like posing a Mafex figure, and I'm not even exaggerating. The paint, the detail, everything on here is wonderful. The weapons are great, and each of the primes comes with a special weapon. Solus Prime came with the Forge of Solus. Prima Prime comes with the Star Saber, and then that matrix that you see on the hilt of the Star Saber actually does detach, and you can put it in Prima's chest. Yeah. So it's really cool. And the vehicle modes are nice too, because since they don't have to do Earth modes, they have a whole lot more latitude on what they can do with vehicles. But this is my favorite. Yeah, this is my favorite so far. I think this is probably the nicest one I've picked up since that Studio Series 86 Prime last year, outside of Masterpieces. Megatronus the Fallen. They got that IDW from what was that Transformer series, Age of Darkness or whatever it was, back in the early 2000s. They got it. I mean, they did this perfectly. The transformation is awesome. The tank is great. The accessories are great. These little fire, he really looks like he's on fire. Now, I will not display him with these all the time because this is that soft plastic. And under certain circumstances, it can get kind of melty and damage the figure. So if you've got any Transformers and you have the soft explosive parts, whether it's the gunshots or like the explosions on the Studio Series 86 dead Autobots, don't display them all the time with those plastic pieces on. Take them off from time to time so you don't damage the figures. And then one other I picked up.
What's the retail price on Megatronus the Fallen?
$50. 55, yeah, $54.99, and then Bone Crusher was $24.99. I grabbed those both at Walmart last night.
Right. Okay.
So those are up to date. And then this one I forgot to bring in. I got the Devastation Optimus Prime, and the vehicle mode is trash. It's not great, but it's a cute robot mode. It's a lot better than what I expected, to be quite honest. And it's just a fun little Optimus Prime. And of course, if it's got Optimus Prime on, I'm going to buy it. And I also bought Blokey's model kit. I've not put this together yet.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to put one of them together and see how I like it. And it was like $10 at Walmart.
Nice.
So thought I'd see. But that's it for the week. I'm sure next week there'll be more. And I've continued my trend of a Prime every broadcast.
Yeah, I think I'm going to pick up that Megatronus the Fallen and break my G1 style thing here. All right.
Well, if you really wanted to get down to it, he was in the G1 Dreamwave comic. So there you go.
Okay. All right. So I did get my Armies of Ashmore in. So this one is the Vasipo figure. I forget what kind of, it's a Stegosaurus, I think. But I put the alternate head. So there's a head pack for each of the dinos. For each of the main 5 guys, there's like a head pack with the heads from the other guys. So this is the Triceratops head on Vasipo, who is technically, I took all of his like Stegosaurus parts off, but I really like the Triceratops looks on these guys, and so I'm going to try to get all the Triceratops looks as with all 5 of these. And I took his armor off. I just think he looks badass, just kind of like all muscled up like this. I don't have his tail on right now, but
that looks it could that thing could fit in with a Turtles line. That could fit in with a He-Man line. That could fit in with a Thundercats line. That's a really cool look.
Yeah, and it's probably hard to tell on screen. This is pretty much the exact same size as a Mythic Legions ogre scale figure. So
Arachagore.
Little smaller. Arachagore is a little bigger. Like the dragons are a little bit bigger. But if you have one of the other ogre scale figures, I forget if you have any of them.
I think Arachagore is the only ogre scale.
Yeah, so the Arachagore is a little bigger than this, but the other ones, the half giant and the Cyclops and like all that stuff, it's like maybe slightly shorter. But it
looks pretty sturdy. What's the chunk and the heft like on that
it's
thing?
super chunky and heavy.
Yeah.
It's like these things. I mean, 4 Horsemen, pretty much sculpted, prototyped, and essentially did the factory production because Chris did the factory production and they did it in their factories. So, yeah. And Biblical Adventures, speaking of Chris, is coming very soon as well. And both of those were Kickstarters, 2 years ago, right around this time.
Yeah.
Like I said, I got those Constructicons, and then I also got, this is kind of news actually, because these are still available, and I'll pull up the link in a second. But these are the new Mighty Maniacs Rocom drops. So they had a couple ones in this clear blue, and then they had a couple ones in this sort of wash that makes it look like stone. It's going to be hard to see on my crappy lighting right now, but
you can actually see it pretty well.
It's got a cool finish to it. It makes it look like stone, essentially, like kind of like a statue. These are currently available. We'll pull those up in a minute, but yeah, these are great.
It's pretty nice tight sculpting on something that small.
Yeah, and these were the ones that were new sculpts from that Kickstarter that they did last year that shipped either late last year or early this year. And then the other one I got is the perfectly timed the Knights of the Slice. I think I mentioned it last week. I had them in the box, and I didn't want to spoil it. But the spoilers have, the moratorium has been lifted, and we are looking at the Knights of the Slice action figure of the Millennium. Their bi-monthly thing from their Jesse's Patreon, and this is the Bomber Bunny. He's got basically, it's hard to tell, but like kind of like a bomber jacket color looking thing going on.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool.
And yeah, that's pretty much my pickups. Let's take a look in the chat. Yeah, Wabbit.
How many waves have they done for that Armies of Ashmore?
This is the first wave.
That's the first one? Okay.
Yep. And they're selling out. Actually, let's pull up
Where are they on BBTS? Where they're selling them?
Yeah, they're on Big Bad. I'm gonna pull that up now. If you search for Ashmore, they'll come up. So that they are 75. They were 60 during the Kickstarter, so it's a decent markup. But it's not. I don't think it's much different than what you're paying for like the Mythic Legions ogre scale figures right now on
Right.
BBTS. So yeah, and so they're starting to sell out. So two of them are already gone. General Siros and Cuzzo are gone already, and then the weapons pack painted by that was like master. The paint masters were done by Eric Miller. That one's sold out, and then this yellow headset is sold out.
Now, which one is that one that you had?
So that's this one here.
Okay, with the alternate head.
Yep, with the alternate head from
From the head pack, from
this
the
pack right
Royal
here.
head pack.
Yeah, this hat. This
Gotcha.
head,
Okay.
and then this without the armor on.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's Vasipo, named after Joe Vasapolo. They're all named after people.
That's
Like
awesome. I like that.
Rydur is named after Tomas Rydberg, and then Milwick is Emil Wickman, who I'm actually gonna show you something that he made today. And yeah, so let's see. Yeah, so those are gone. I want to say one of these, like maybe this one, is almost gone. Yeah, only 6 left of this. Vasipo. 16, still pretty good amount of him. But yeah, so if you're looking to get those, I would grab them. I'm sure Matthew is going to have them at at conventions and stuff. I'm wondering if he might even do an online sale of some of the extras or what. But do the heads pop on and off pretty easily on those? Yeah, these come off. Well, it's all right. Let me do this. So from the neck, it pops off very easily. It's like a nice
Okay.
pop.
Oh,
From
that's
here,
easy.
it's a little tougher to get the neck off. I think that's on purpose because because they all come with like their own neck, and then you want to
Okay.
paint the neck with it So pretty much, they did make blanks, and I have 2 blanks, and I want to paint one. Apparently, they're pretty reasonable to disassemble, but you definitely want to use hot water for the arm, for the shoulder joints. They said somebody who popped one apart said the shoulders are pretty tough to get off. Yeah, I imagine once he gets through, he's like a one-man operation, and they're shipping all these out, and they sold a lot of them, so I imagine it's gonna be a little bit, but they probably will. Then he says, "I wish I had done the Kickstarter because 75 is hard to swallow." Yeah, I mean, expensive toys are hard to swallow.
And it seems like the older I get, that's all I want. I'm so thankful when I see something at retail that I actually want, because that's a little easier to stomach.
Yep. And it's like our money is like, it's so spread out across all these different lines where
Yeah.
it's like why would I pay more for this? And like you just like weigh your options, right?
There's so much stuff that I like. I mean, there's some like that, the Armies of Ashmore. There's so much Mythic Legion stuff I would love to pick up. I like my wife, if I would have wanted that dragon, she'd have been totally on board with me getting it. She's like, yeah, we can put it in the loft. We can put it on the big marble coffee table in the loft. And there's too much other stuff,
Yeah. So Survivor asked, do the arms and legs pop off? The legs come off with heat. The legs come off pretty easy. That's just a ball joint in the hip. But I haven't tried it yet. But apparently the arm at the shoulder is tough to get off. You want to like use hot water and really soak it and get it really hot, and it's still pretty tough to get off apparently. But I do want to paint one of those. I want to paint one of those blanks. So I'm going to be popping one apart.
Are you doing everything by hand, or do you have little airbrushes? What are you doing?
No airbrush. Yeah, it's all by hand. I'll usually prime with a rattle can primer, but then everything else is brush.
I still intend on doing that Optimus Prime model kit in Carolina colors. I've got the kit. I just haven't bought the stuff. I'm like, when am I going to find the? Tell you what, I've been painting. I was painting that freaking townhouse for 2 weeks.
Oh yeah.
My gosh. I mean,
Speaking
after
of
that
customs, speaking of Mythic Legions, Cosmic Legions, and whatnot. Speaking of Transformers, check this out.
Shockwave. Nice. What is that?
How sick is that? It's basically a Mythic Legions, Cosmic Legions, mashup, and it's custom painted by Emil Wickman.
Hey, someone was saying earlier they wanted an AMK Pro Shockwave. Well, there's your next best thing. That is awesome. I love the different purples and the metallic look. That's beautiful.
Yeah, he did a good job.
That's an amazing job on that.
So
piece.
this head, it's all Mythic Legions parts, but he did some carving and cutting and like gluing and stuff. Like he took some pieces and stuck them in here. He took one of the domes and like it's all like he typically will only use parts from Mythic Legions, but he'll cut and like mix and match the pieces as he cuts them apart and stuff. It's pretty sick.
That's dedication because he probably could have gotten a Blokey's head and been in pretty good shape.
Right, like he does it all in.
That's
in-house,
amazing,
so to speak. It's super cool.
I love just the detail on those colors, man. That is amazing work.
Yeah, wow, incredible. Look at that arm.
Yeah, that's something else.
Yeah, those are
man. I couldn't stay inside the lines of a coloring book when I was a kid. This kind of stuff blows my mind.
It's got the tube and everything,
That's so neat. What a great job he did.
Yeah, he killed it with that. All right, let's go back over here. Okay, so I also wanted to talk about the dragon that is now on. You know what we need to do first, though, is we need to get a giveaway going because we got 4 giveaways. And I want to just point out, Kirby, member for 2 months. Rob, 23 months. Brick, 23 months. And Joe gifted 10 memberships. I want to make sure I don't neglect those. Thank you, Joe. Okay. Pull that down. And let's go back over to here.
I show a lot of times. I'll show these customs to Steph, and it just blows us away to see the talent that's in the community.
You guys should go to
something else.
I'm telling you, it would blow your freaking minds, and Steph would absolutely love it there. It's so awesome, and it's all stuff like that. Like that'll be there. I mean, I'm not sure if that was a commission or what, but like if it wasn't, if it's his, like that'll be there.
Well, if things goes, bless you, if things goes planned and she wins her pro card this year, we're not going to compete next year. Mm-hmm. And we've said we're going to go to a convention of some kind. So definitely put that in the.
Yeah. It's just a tough time of year. It's right around Thanksgiving,
Yeah. Well, and then the thing that it's not that time of year makes difficult for us is that it falls right after the contest. And, in fees alone between our federation cards and entry fees, we spend, probably $2,000 between the two of us. And that's not counting because my FBB card is $400 every year. Her NPC card is $200 and something. And then entries there for professional for mine is like $300 a class and her or $350 and hers is like $270. So it piles up quick. And then there's the Airbnb and the food and everything on top of it, and tanning and photos and videos. It's a mess.
Yeah, totally. Adds up. Man, that's crazy. I didn't think the fees would be like that.
They are, man. That's why when you go up there, if you win, it's a big deal because there are, like the last time we went up there were 2,000 competitors over the course of the weekend. It was awesome. It's a lot of fun.
Cool. All right, so the dragon. The dragon is we're still talking about the dragon, yeah. All right, so it's now up on Big Bad Toy Store. It's $800, which I think is not terrible. So you got to realize.
Does that include the shipping?
I mean, I think it's the $4 shipping. Now, obviously, for international, it's not. But
yeah.
I think it does include the shipping because I think it's, you know, you can get the $4 shipping. Now, they had to pay, like they bought, I saw some people saying like, oh, I thought this was only going to be offered at, you know, during the campaign. Now they're making more. Well, they're not making more. They bought these during the campaign for $550 each.
Yeah.
Like they bought them just like everybody else. There's going to be other people flipping them. Big Bad's flipping them. There's other retailers who bought them, and there's individuals who bought extra who are going to be flipping them as well. So they're going to be flipped. Like that's just the way it is. It's just that Big Bad is getting ahead of the game, and they ordered a freaking ton of them because they still have at least 24, and it's been up for a couple days now. So $800. So it's $550. So that's $250, right? That's a $250 increase, which isn't terrible if you think about like shipping this thing. I know they, you know, people have to realize like when Big Bad ships a large thing like this for $4, it doesn't cost Big Bad $4. It costs them the amount, like $60 to $100 probably, depending on where you are in the US, right? So like that shipping is factored in. And I think that's why these two are different prices. So the wing set and the flame set, those were $150 during the campaign, but they're different prices here. But I'm guessing that the wing set is more here because it's a much bigger box and they're just factoring in that much more of the shipping cost because they do offer the $4 shipping. That's my guess.
It surprises me. So I'll back up. So when Unicron was on Hasbro Pulse, when it sold, and I think it was, what was it, $5.99? It was like $600, something like that. Within a couple of weeks of it funding, people had it up on eBay for sale, you know, ahead of time already for like $800 or whatever. I'm shocked that there aren't some of these up already. I just looked on eBay to see if there are any on there, and they don't have any.
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine, yeah, there's probably not a lot of people ready to like it's not a lot of people that bought a bunch. I could see if somebody bought a bunch, they'd want to put them up early, but like if you bought one or two extra, you know,
probably sitting on them.
Just wait, you know. I think they will. I think they would. I don't think that BBTS is necessarily like individually paying the individual shipping. They have their own containers that get sent over. Yeah. So I imagine they can do that with these, and they're like, oh, put it on the container with, I don't know what'll be coming out then, like whatever this G-Con wave is this year, like put it on that container or whatever. So yeah. Do people scout Mythic? Sure. Yeah. I mean, definitely that barbarian, that the legendary barbarian that's currently only available at conventions, that has limited supply. That's like, you know, people are going to those cons and they're buying them to flip because they're going for like $150. So yeah, like people scout Mythic for sure, but not
people scalp everything.
Because the thing with Mythic is almost everything. You know, it's a little more these days, but almost everything they do has a pre-order window. So if you're ordering Mythic Legions, you're not taking away from somebody else, right? Like, let's say they're doing a pre-order window and they're at 5,000 of a figure, and then you buy one to scalp. You're not making it 4,999. You're making it 5,001. And there's more figures now in existence because you bought one to scalp. That's how Mythic Legions is. So most Mythic Legions are unscalpable, but something like a drop, like that legendary barbarian, those are definitely getting scalped.
Yeah, I guess buying it and sitting on it for a year or two and then selling, you can't really call that scalping, because that's where I see that stuff getting sold for a lot of money. Like I have looked on eBay and you'll see cases of stuff that came out a couple years ago, and they move for a lot of money because there's so much Mythic Legion stuff, and there are always people getting on board. I feel like Legions has become like a comic book at this point. Stan Lee said one time, every single comic book we publish is someone's first comic book. And that's how Mythic Legions is starting to feel, because it seems like more and more people get on board, and it's not slowing down. So there are always people that want stuff out of that back catalog.
Yeah, here's a good point. So in all honesty, they're making like $100 profit considering everything. Yeah,
Probably.
I mean, it depends. It depends. Like, maybe their shipping is a lot less because they just ship so much. They have deals. Maybe, maybe they are putting it on their own container, so they don't have to like pay an individual shipping every time, for every single one of these. Maybe they did in-person pickup and they're going to send a truck. It's a bit of a haul because I think they're in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
But it might be cheaper than shipping 50 dragons and plus 50 wing sets and however many. I mean, they have at least 25, so there's probably like at least 50.
The thing that I think
these will sell out. And then, right now it's kind of like it's setting an aftermarket price, but these are going to sell out well before they release, and the aftermarket price is not going to be 800. It's going to be a lot more.
The thing that I think about when I see a big retailer buy Kickstarters or pre-sales like this is that they are doing a lot, not only to help the sale reach its goal, but to help reach stretch goals. When big retailers like this buy stuff to sell, that they're helping the collector because they're hitting numbers that may or may not have been hit for unlocks on stretch goals.
Mm-hmm. And they didn't, like, some people were like, oh, they cut some deal at the very end. They actually said that Big Bad bought these pretty early in the campaign. It wasn't like right at the end to push them over. They bought them pretty early. So, those numbers at the end that were fucking crazy, like, it was insane. Have we even gone live since it ended?
No, because when we went live, that was on a Thursday,
Jeremy,
and it was ending Sunday.
Yeah.
Yep. And we were trying to.
What was it at? Was it at like 3,000-ish Thursday?
It was in the threes somewhere. It was because we were saying, was it going to hit? We said we definitely thought it was going to hit 4, but by how much would it break 4?
It almost hit 5. It was like 49. It was like 4,900.
Yeah. Because I thought, even as uneducated as I am about Legions, just knowing how rabid the fans are, and like you were saying, looking at the bump, the tracking, and knowing I don't care which, except for the Elmo, the Cookie Monster that never made it, and the Star Wars jump Kickstarter that never made it. Even all the HasLabs at the end, there's always it goes bump, it climbs, and then at the end there's another huge bump. So
yeah, and this too, like, so the final stream was from 7 to 11, and the campaign ended at 11, and Curtis was like, hey, let's give a draft. I'll donate 300 if everybody else will put in the rest to give away a dragon. And so we all started like throwing money at like giving away a dragon. Then people in the chat started donating super chats to give away a dragon. Ultimately, it ended up being, I think, 2 dragons essentially through like just donations, like through Curtis and the super chats, and then 2 more horsemen were on the stream, and they gave away 2 more, I believe, and it was 4. It was crazy, and it's funny because I actually had to break away to go watch White Lotus. Otherwise, my wife would have killed me after all of that live streaming all weekend. And then I came back, and they were like, "Yeah, we gave away 4 dragons." And that, it was pretty crazy. Yeah, it's still not a bad price if you kind of think about the fact that essentially includes shipping, right? It does. You have to factor tax on top of that, right? So it's going to be, I don't know, $750,
whatever your sales tax,
$850-ish, But still, when you think about what you get, so again, we go here.
It's a lot of stuff.
It does come with everything. Whoops, wrong link. Where is it? Oh, right here. So it does have. Is there a picture with everything on it?
I don't think they could fit everything into one picture.
There was a picture. Hold on. With everything to get there, it is. Yeah. So you get the dragon, and you get 3 figures. One of which is like an absolute blowout deluxe figure. with cloth goods and everything. Like,
And then the one is
value in
only
their-
going to be made for this and never remade, right?
yeah. None of these are getting remade.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to see more skeletons, just not in that color. You're going to see
Not
more
that one.
knights, just not in that color. But some of the parts are exclusive to this. The shoulder pauldrons with the wings on them. Let me go up here.
I didn't realize that the Horsemen had given away two as well. That's
Yeah,
just, man,
believe
that
they
just
gave away
that
two,
speaks to how awesome they are and how much they care about the community.
Yeah, Alex, did they give away two? And then the community, 2 all-in and 2 base. Okay.
That is so that's just, man, that's fantastic. That makes you feel even better about supporting a line like that.
Yeah, I've always, it's kind of crazy when you see the usual like conspiracy theorists saying things like, "Oh, the Horsemen are, holding back numbers, or they're like doing weird, like they're trying to trick us, or they're trying to like get one over on the collectors, and if you appreciate them, you're just enabling them to fucking screw us over." And it's like, what are you talking about? Like, you don't know these people. Like, these people are awesome, and it's so crazy to see people like talk about the Horsemen in that way when you actually know them.
If you go back, I mean, the first time I think their genesis was working for Todd McFarlane way back. And then whenever they started their own studio and did the 2000X He-Man line, like they did, and obviously it was through Mattel, and yes, the goal is to make more money. It's a corporation. It's not UNICEF. But they did so much for the fans within that line, and then within the Classics line, stretching budgets and doing everything. And ever since they've had their own line, they've done everything for the fans. The figures that they make, if one of the big, if Mattel or Hasbro or someone else made these figures, they would be charging more for them, even though they have, greater ability to make quantities and release. Like, anyone that would say that about the Horsemen is just an idiot and just looking for something to complain about.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
I wanna,
that.
Collecting Brothers made me remember that I got some giveaways to do because they donated. Let me see if I can put my dog down. It's like so uncomfortable. Hang on a second. All right, buddy. Can you go lay down? Go lay down. Oh God. All right.
Was he on your lap? She on your lap the whole time?
Yeah, he was.
I'm sorry.
Dexter. Yeah, he was there the whole time. I'm so uncomfortable right now.
A little bit of crotch pot cooking up there.
He's a great snuggler, like on a couch or something, but sitting in a chair like this, it's not great. He's just
the heat builds up fast.
Yeah, and he's just heavy enough to be like a tough lap sitter. All right, so let me pull this down. All right, I'll pull me over here. So we're giving away. This is my copy. The Collecting Brothers will ship yours out, and I'll send them your address. But that's it. So Between Two Fires, which is our current DorkLair, BookLair, book club book, and and there's a glass drop in 10 minutes. All right, let's do this giveaway quick, and then we'll take a look at the glass drop because I want in on that. There's an Onell drop. It was like a secret sneaky drop. All right. So, giveaway tool. It's this here. Pull up the banners. All right, so The Collecting Brothers is the hashtag. The winner will get the book shipped to you from The Collecting Brothers. Let's see if these, okay, they're coming in, so that's working. So we'll get that going. And just to be clear, it's possible to win multiple. So don't feel like you don't want to enter this one because you want to hold out for the next one. I mean, obviously, if you want to just be like kind and whatever, but like You could win. You could win everything if you were that lucky. So don't feel like you can't enter everything. Okay. All right, we got 9 minutes until the Onell drop. I'm going to pull that up over here. Let's see if they've started posting yet. No, I guess they haven't. Are they going to post? So let me pull something up here. Let me pull something instead. So usually what happens is, let me scroll down to the last drop. So on the last one, was it this? Yeah. So the last drop, they started doing teasers and dropping these, like an hour or two before, and they start like revealing what's going to be in the drop and all the different releases in the drop. This is a pretty big one. And then they'll put up some lore, some comics and stuff, and then boom, Wave 105 is live. So I believe this is going to be Wave 106, but they haven't started posting anything. So this head sculpt, which is called Govorum, it was only like released like a long time ago, and then they did a few where they just like slide them into like shipments like as extras. I know a few people in the chat have gotten a few of those. But so this is like a super old school kind of drop with a full figure with this head sculpt that hasn't been really done for a long time. So I want to get it because I don't have that head sculpt. Rob wants a fade-in. Well, we got fade-ins. Let me pull myself over here. We got the, what is this one called? Synchro Phase fade-in. He's got some cool parts. And he's got that like clear green with the white painted on top. And then that also comes with this, which is, it's like hard to tell what it is here, but it's sort of like this crazy robot thing in the same colors. I'll put those together just because they're matching colors. And then this is not a fade-in, but it kind of has a couple, I think it's got some parts slightly similar to fade-in. But this guy here is the Abyss Shifter. So that one we're giving away. That will also come with these two. So a little Kraboth and a Mischievous here. And then the third Glyos giveaway from Ben G is the Scarabite and Reverse Scarabite Calgrim. These guys right here. From the God Beast Ross Shark drop. Most of these are pretty recent. Like this one might be a little bit older, I think. Like maybe a year older, but these are a few months ago, like this year even, I think. Yeah, the Abyss. It's hard to. Let me actually pull it up. Hang on. Let me do this because we can just scroll to some of these. Go back here. No, not that. This, and then. No, how do I do it? This. There we go. All right, so I can scroll backwards and show you, if I can find it, what that Abyss looks like. Oh, there it is. Is it gonna pop up? It's cool. It's got some like shading going on. Pretty sweet. A little clear plastic with some orange on top with some shading. And then, yeah, so let's see if anything updated over here. Blog. So I guess it's just going to be, I'm going to open up the store in a little bit and see. Now, here's the thing is, sometimes that 9:30 is not 9:30. Actually, oftentimes it's a little bit later. So I guess we'll keep going, and then whoever in the, in the chat can like kind of let me know when it's live, and then I'll pull it up. Let me go back over here. All right, let's pull this giveaway. Share this. All right, so for the book, And then, like usual, just message me and or email me. The best way to do it is to email me at podcast@dorklair.com and then let me know your address, and I will forward that to the Collecting Brothers, and they will ship it out to you. They look like eye candy. They look like candy. Some of them straight up.
They do.
This
like
one
gummies.
straight up looks like candy.
Yeah.
Never mind eye candy, just candy. Easter
Gummy
candy.
Glyos.
All right, let me pull this banner down. All right, here we go. 40 entries in 3, 2, 1 for the book. James Samudio. James Samudio. That's a new name. Congratulations, James. Again, email me at podcast@dorklair.com and send me your address, and then the Collecting Brothers will ship that out to you. Congratulations. Pull this down. Oh no, I want to go over here, right? Glyos. Any update? Yeah, so someone, I forget who was saying, I don't know if Everett was here or who was talking about it. Ben G obviously is here. Ben, if you're keeping track of the Onell drop, let me know. Better read that. Yep. Go to the Storeville. Okay, here we go. Opening at 9:30. It's still not there. Okay. Yeah, let me know when it's live. And what else did we want to talk about? Did I have anything else over here? Yeah, I mean, I guess we were talking about the dragon. Like, I think 800 is fine. I think that's a reasonable price for an aftermarket, and I think that'll go fairly quickly. It seems like they got a lot. So somebody had asked how many did they get? Well, they got at least 24, and then assuming they sold some already, they got more than 24. You know, like I would imagine they probably bought 50 dragons or something. What would 50 be? What would 50 dragons be? Would that be like $30,000 or something? 550 times 50. What is that?
That's too many decimals for my head.
550.
27.5.
There you go. So yeah, it's almost 30,000. So maybe that's their number. They bought $30,000 worth of dragons.
You know what the thing is that, like you said, they're going to sell through, and by the time, when is this thing actually coming out?
They said they're trying to get it out by the end of 2026. So about a year.
Okay, so year and a half. By the time this thing actually comes out, the people who didn't get it that want it are going to be wishing that it was $800.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, I don't know if I told you, Larry, but I ended up buying a second just base dragon.
You said you were thinking about it. I didn't pull the trigger.
Yeah, because I wanted extras of those figures. So I'm gonna have a dragon for sale. I'm not gonna keep 2 dragons.
That's smart.
I'll have the dragon for sale without the extra stuff. I'll try to sell it locally, but you know. Yeah, the big bad release date is not exactly what. So Four Horsemen said late 2026. This says second quarter, which would be March, April, May,
June.
So yeah, that's probably off.
Yeah, that's optimistic.
30 seconds. Yeah, but like I said, they don't always. The Glyos drop does the Onell drop doesn't always happen exactly on time. Now, what about this? So oftentimes they update here and they give you little teasers. But go here. This could sell out quick. Big Bad Toy Store always seems off for Four Horsemen release dates. They have Rising Suns quarter 2 of this year. Yeah, I mean, I think quarter 2, maybe mid. I think they maybe originally said mid 2025 for Rising Suns. So that would technically be, the end of quarter 2 would be mid 2025. So that might have been accurate when it was announced, but they usually get extended. Those big waves, at least. Whoops, I wanted to pull up TJ. Tom, I was so close to buying a second, but just went for a second fire set. Yeah, I'm probably gonna regret not getting another one of those Flaming Knights. Let's see here. Yeah, riveting live stream, waiting to buy toys.
Isn't that what the live stream, that what the whole place is about, is buying toys?
Yeah, that's what we're doing. That's what we do. And I don't have much else. So throw stuff into the chat. Like if you want me to pull up more news, throw it into the chat. As soon as this drop happens, I'm going to be giving away more Glyos. I got to say, I miss the baggies too. So Kevin's talking about the trays now, how like stuff comes in trays. I've never been a fan of, especially like the kind of, they're not the twist ties, but they're like the little zip tie type ones, the little like plastic ties. If you've ever opened a NECA figure, the suffering of clipping like a ton of those things and just having to clean them up. But we're seeing more and more of those with Legion stuff. West Coast Mythic Meetup, Sacramento, May 3rd, my mom's birthday. So head out there if you're in that region. I think Nate Barch is going to be there. Obviously, Brick Something's going to be there. I think Curtis is heading out there. Pretty big trip for him, I would say. He's in St. Louis, going all the way out to Sacramento. Yep. Maybe that's what we can pull up. We can pull up the events. Store for source. Why isn't it? Source Horseman down right now? What the heck? It's not coming up. Somebody let me know if they're having trouble getting to Source Horseman. I can't get there. I do know that next weekend is a ToyCon New Jersey, and then there might be another event next weekend too. There's a show in Chicago. I forget when that is. Maybe this weekend. And then so May 3rd would be the following weekend. That would be the Mythic Meetup, the Cali Mythic Meetup. Oh, Joe's going to be there. Nice. And then May 10th is one I'm actually going to, and that is Shop the Curiosity. And if you're around, I think you should go. It's going to be fun. When you get to the Onell site, make sure you hit all items. Okay.
And this is weird. I'm trying to log into it, and I'm getting this website may be impersonating message.
From Source Horseman?
Yeah.
Yeah, something's going on there.
Something wacky's going on. Retailers not found. Yeah, this connection is not private. That's really weird. I've never gotten that when I tried to go to them.
Yeah. So,
their online store is up.
Chap 316 is calling out my DS9 shirt, which I love. I freaking love this shirt. And the cool thing about this shirt, I don't know if you guys can see it. On the back, it's got a list of all the episodes.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna order I'm at least gonna order Wayun. I can't like. There's so many different. They've carpet bombed us with like so many different like areas of Star Trek that it's overwhelming with that first wave. So they look good. They look like good figures, and I'm definitely gonna get at least Wayun, and then maybe try to focus on like DS9 TNG. But not like an all-in situation. Like I'm not gonna get like crazy side characters or anything. Wayun's kind of a side character, but he was pretty prevalent in DS9. He might even be on the shirt. No. Both Daxes are. The shirt's got both Daxes. Thank you, Babylon. I'm only collecting Ferengi and Jeffrey Combs. Collecting Jeffrey Combs could get intense. There's a lot of Jeffrey Combs.
I think that's the one. Yeah, Deep Space. I didn't watch much Voyager either. I think I only saw a couple episodes of Deep Space Nine.
It's great. It's an awesome
I've
show.
heard. Is that the one? No, that's not the one that Straczynski wrote. He wrote Babylon 5. I'm sorry.
No, Ronald D. Moore was like kind of one of the main guys on DS9.
Yeah.
And he went on to do Battlestar Galactica. And it really was like a precursor to all those shows where it was like a Trek that went very heavy on the overarching storylines and really like kind of from the get-go like had a lot of overarching storylines, and it was a great show. It really was good. Yeah, it's brilliant.
Yeah, that was in the days before we had cable, and we didn't. Where I grew up, we had 3 channels, and I lived at home for the first part of my college, so a lot of that stuff I missed out on.
Longest running. Didn't it have the same amount of seasons as TNG? I thought maybe not. That was a crazy time when you had TNG, Deep Space Nine, and I think there was a little bit of time where all 3. Voyager was also on at the same time.
Yeah.
It might have maybe I forget if Voyager started after TNG ended. It was right around. There was one little like sliver of time where I think all 3 were.
I had watched most of TNG, and most of those I watched at friends' houses or borrowed videotapes that they had recorded. And then I didn't start watching again until Enterprise, which I loved. I loved that show, and I felt like it got cut short.
Yeah, that one didn't last as long.
Was it 2 seasons, maybe 3? It wasn't that many.
Three or yeah, I think 3.
Not nearly as many as it should have been.
No. Yeah, this was like when I was in college. We watched a lot of DS9. We watched a lot of TNG as well, and it would just be like on, late night. It would be like reruns. It'd be on late night. Yeah, this is where you're in the good stuff. Season 3, 4, 5. First few seasons, like this is the thing about like TV now. It can't be. It can't like nowadays. You can't have a couple seasons for it to get its footing. Where TNG, it was not great the first couple seasons. DS9, not great like initially, but like then it starts to like get its groove, and they start to get into like they get in sync, and the writing, and it starts to get good. You can't do that anymore. People will not tolerate a first season being like mediocre.
No, you gotta catch them out of the gate.
Yeah, so it is 9:40. Like I said, they tend to kind of go late. What I'll do is let's start the next giveaway while we kind of wait. Yeah, Seinfeld would never make it today. I've never watched Breaking Bad. That's something I gotta watch.
Oh, it's so good. I guess that means you've never watched Better Call Saul either.
No.
You're missing out, my friend.
I was gonna say we are watching Severance right now. We just finished season 1 and just started season 2, and that show is amazing.
We made it through 1 episode, and my wife was like, "Can we watch something else?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." The first episode was really slow. I may watch it. It may be a cardio.
It's definitely worth going back.
It may be a cardio watch for me. Right now, we're watching the morning show.
Okay.
We're
How
really
is it?
enjoying that. And
Good.
yeah, yeah, it's really good. And then we're going to watch our friends and neighbors after that. And then I'm going to right a wrong that has needed writing for a long time. We're going to go back and we're going to watch The Office because I've never watched that.
Oh yeah, that's good stuff.
Well, I think maybe when I tried to watch it years and years ago, it wasn't something that I don't know, the humor. I just didn't quite care for it. I don't know. Maybe I didn't give it enough of a chance, but I've been told by enough people that you have to watch it. So
I think it's a little bit of a slow burn kind of
yeah,
show.
well, every time I see something with Steve Carell in it, I love it, and I'm like, okay, maybe I need to go back and give this a chance. That's what made us start talking about. Is he's on this show we're watching now?
Okay. All right, let's get the next one going while we wait for Onell. So let me check. All right. So we're getting into the Ben G giveaways. And so the first one we're gonna do is the synchro stuff. And so you got that guy. That's basically a fade in with a bunch of extra parts, and then this is like a robot guy, and that's gonna be, again, Benji donated all these glass ones. That is gonna be Synchro Ben. Let me pull this up and share this instead. Synchro Ben, hashtag Synchro Ben with an I. I have not checked out Mythic Quest, but I like the name of it. All right, people are entering this one. I will pull this down. Go back here. Some people had mentioned that Legions Con tickets went on sale, and they had a graphic that said, choose your path. I'm going to be able to find this thing. Let me see if I can find it. The graphic was choose your path. Okay, there it is. And, it's got people speculating what that means. Enter the crossroads, choose your path. What could it be? Now, I feel like Rob somebody mentioned, what is it? Could it be your path is mythic versus cosmic? Could it be something to do with the armory experience where you build your own figure? Maybe you go down one lane or the other, depending on, like, maybe it's a 1.0 experience and a 2.0 experience. So different bucks, different experiences. I don't know. A live action role play, perhaps. I mean, they are doing a role playing game. So it could have to do with that. Maybe it's connected with the role playing game.
Well, as many characters as they have now, couldn't they do a card game of some type?
Sure, I would totally be down with that. I think they're going to focus on the RPG first. But
just seems like something as popular as card games are, and as rabid as Legions fans are, it seems like that'd be a no brainer. Choose your own adventure.
Yeah, because like a card game is a collecting experience, right? Whereas like a role playing game, there are collecting aspects to it. People collect dice, people collect different editions of handbooks and stuff, but trading cards for sure. A trading card game. Get a card with each figure, like Savage Crucible.
Yeah.
What is the thugs? I don't understand the Bone Thugs thing here. Is that they have a Crossroads
Bone
song?
Thugs and Harmony.
Yeah, but do they have a song about Crossroads?
Yeah, Meet You at the Crossroads.
Oh, okay.
It's like the only song that they had that lasted for more than 30
is it
seconds.
like a cover of the old blues song?
No, it's it's we had lots of friends killed at gang violence, and we'll meet you in the afterlife at the crossroads.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, glorifying violence. That's what we do. But no, it was a really popular song.
Play the RPG, collect figures. Yeah, totally. And use your figures to play the game. Instead of
Why not?
Use the figures.
Yeah.
Guisa says, I once made a deal at the crossroads. Oh, Onell live. Okay. It's happening. Like I almost clicked draw. That's so funny. All right, let me go here and refresh. Let's see what we got here. Oh, I'm definitely getting this at the cart.
Huh. That's fast.
And I'm definitely getting this. Look at this guy. That's a DX.
Yeah, and you already have a blaster for an arm. There's a Shockwave custom for somebody.
Okay, maybe I'll just get everything. Last Exilus. All right, I'm just going to get all three. All right, that's pretty sweet. We'll take a look at them after. I want to check out. Oh, it's cloth goods. Okay. Do I want two of those? It's $2. Why not? And it doesn't have a limit, so. Okay, I'm going to pull this down while I check out. Remove. Sorry, guys. You're going to have to wait for me to check out. Cool. So you get the extra cloth there. All right. Okay. Let me pull it back up and take a look. I've made my purchase. All right. So let's check this out.
I'm sorry, I just read Hedgehog's comment.
What did he say?
I did not have Larry explaining Crossroads to Bill on my bingo card for tonight. I didn't have me explaining hip hop anything to anyone on my bingo card for any night.
Well, I love hip hop. I just don't remember that song. I remember the other song. What was the other song? Was Renegades, whatever.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. Yeah, that Crossroads
Not
really the only one I
Renegades.
can
No, not
remember.
Renegades. What was the other song? They had another song, I thought. All right.
So I did not realize Goliath did soft goods.
Yeah, so sometimes they do. Actually, this figure came with a second figure that had a cloth cape.
Okay.
All right, so I wish there was more pictures. I want to see. So I guess it's basically a fade-in body with the what do you call it? The Govorum head sculpt. Includes one out-of-production, fully painted Govorum head, one complete fade-in, one custom-trimmed toy pizza poncho. Okay, so it's a toy pizza poncho and it's custom-cut, and one soft-good Renegade cape. Oh, that's no, cool. The poncho is the shoulder. The thing on the shoulders is the toy pizza thing. Okay. And then the last Exilus, which looks like it's similar colors to the previous wave. Both of these look like they're in line with that previous wave colorways. So this is a Exilus extra set with Traveler Scarf and one complete fade-in. Oh, okay, so it'll have a complete fade-in in there too. And then Goroville, Buildborn. One Goroville head, one Saldane head, one Dark Traveler head, Dark Traveler chest, pelvis, belt, scarves, one Traveler belt, Delphi limb set, Zolan chest, and Zolan pelvis. That's the Zolan chest. Some of this stuff is still kind of new to me, so. All right. Okay. let's give away the next one. Go back here. So this is the synchro green and white. I'm going to draw it in 3, 2, 1. And I want to write it down so that I remember. Ripe for Valhalla. Congrats. All right, Larry's needs to be muted. Larry's pulling a Drebin. That was a full-on Frank Drebin. By the way, there's a trailer now for Naked Gun with Liam Neeson. Liam Nielsen, Leslie Neeson. Congrats, Ripe for Valhalla. Email me at podcast@dorklair.com. Let me know your address, and I will send that out. That may go out Monday. It's Easter weekend, and I'm going to be leaving for the weekend to travel. Actually, no, it'll go out Saturday morning. Larry, you just pulled a Frank Drebin.
I don't know what that means.
So in the movie The Naked Gun.
Oh, that's why the mute button was on when I came back. Sorry. My goodness, I didn't remember this. I realized the sound traveled that badly. Yeah, you know what? I've got about an hour and a half limit before I'm, baby bladder. Sorry, guys. Oh, boy. I bet that wasn't on your bingo card, was it, Hedgehog? I don't know what your prize is, but that sucker's filling up.
Nobody's mentioning it in the comments. I don't know how many.
Oh, give them a minute.
A little while. Boy. It's been a minute.
Oh, my goodness. Okay. Okay. Maybe everybody's brain's shutting down. It's getting late.
And then I was just bringing up that there's a trailer for Naked Gun with Liam Neeson.
Really?
Yeah.
That's, why that's going to be funny is because he's had all these roles where he's this super serious, I will find you and I will kill you.
Yes, totally.
So that's going to be great.
And he's kind of getting older, and he's kind of in that age that Leslie Nielsen, and his name sounds exactly like Leslie Nielsen, Liam Neeson.
Dude, they picked up on it. Great stream, folks. Stream within a stream. It echoed throughout my halls. Who was the senator or congressman or whoever that farted on camera? You remember when that happened last year, right? He was on some kind of live stream. I don't remember what his name was, but he totally ripped one on a WebEx. It's hilarious.
All right.
Oh boy.
Okay, we got some more giveaways, and I'm getting a little tired. So
yeah, I'm getting a little loopy here.
Okay. Let me pull this one down for a second here. Oh, there it is. Okay. All right, let me pull Synchro Ben down. And then we're going to give away the Abyss Shifter.
God, they're still going. Hey, my team at Alcon, we still use WebEx every week, so it's a blast from the present.
All right, the Abyss Shifter. Let me just make sure I got everything synced up here. All right, so the next one is, I think that's probably
that's my favorite one that you put up. I love that.
That's probably my favorite as well. And then, but also this has a pretty cool, it's hard to see here, but it's got a sheen to it.
Yeah.
And that's the Cappy Space Mischievous. And then this set will also, because it's kind of I'm not going to just give away this separately, but these kind of all have similar tones of colors. So a little Kraboth here to go with it.
Looks like a Power Rangers villain.
This guy's tiny, by the way. These are little,
yeah, it is.
Here's.
Oh, wow. That is tiny.
Yeah. All right, so that is Again, given away by Benji, and therefore that is Abyss Ben. Let me pull this over here. Abyss Ben. So these are all Glyos. It depends on which ones. So the question is which company. So the Abyss figure is Onell, and the Mischievous is Cappy Space. These green ones we gave away before, those are Onell. And then the ones we're going to give away next, those are God Beast. Sold them, but it was a collab between God Beast and Rorschach. So they're all different Glyos companies. And yeah, people are talking about eye candy and wanting to eat the candy, which I gotta get ready. By the way, Larry, I've been back to my workouts after my injury.
Oh, good.
So
how's that going?
It's going good. Like the hand injury, right? Like I couldn't grip, so I wasn't really lifting. I was just doing.
Well, you
cardio.
couldn't.
Yeah, I could. I mean, I could grip, but I would risk damaging like stressing it too far. So I wasn't doing it. So now I'm at the point where I feel okay splinting it and working out, and so
That's good.
I'm able to do that. So I'm back to that routine I've been doing.
Nice.
I did all last year, and I'm feeling. It's probably why I'm tired. I'm only a couple weeks in, and I'm still kind of getting used to it again.
So here's the question I have: how much strength do you feel like you lost, or was it more a conditioning thing?
Quite a bit, actually. Trying to think of some of the examples, like curls, like dumbbell curls. Let's just say like hammer curls. I think I was doing 20 pounds, and then now depends on the position, but I'm either 15 or 12
Right.
pounds for those.
I will be curious to see how quickly that comes back, because muscle memory is a real thing. And as long as you're consistent, it shouldn't take more than about 6 or 8 weeks to get to where you were.
Yeah, I mean, I'm already jumping faster than I was originally. Jumping up in weights. So
a lot of that's neurological.
Yeah,
a lot of that's neurological adaptation. But as far as hypertrophy and the muscle revolumizing, that's, like I said, 8 weeks, you'll be right back to where you were, like you never skipped a beat.
It was about 12 weeks off.
You might get back 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Because you were consistent for a while.
I was a full year.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got a friend at the gym who he tore his pec, and he had to have surgical reattachment, and he was out of action. Like he could only do lower body and very light. Like he just trained his left side on upper body for like 16 weeks. And then he did his rehab, everything. He's been back to it full bore for like 3 weeks, and he's changing by the day. So your body will remember.
Yeah. And it's like the perfect time of year for running.
Yeah.
Too. So like I'm doing a ton of cardio right now. Like
yeah,
I feel like the bike is great, but it's not the same. It's going for a run. A half hour of run is just way more than a half hour on the bike. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And the other thing is just, I tell people when it comes to cardio, do what you enjoy the most, because that's what you're going to put the most effort into. Yep. So that's what you're going to get the most out of.
Yeah. I can ride the bike and watch a show.
Yeah.
But sometimes my phone will distract me. Like there's just distractions. Like someone will come down or whatever. You know what I mean? Like there's just distractions when I'm home on the bike. When I'm off for a run,
it's just you and the trail.
It's just me. Yeah. And there's people out there, but like I just ignore everybody, and I just am on my run. I can listen to a podcast or an audiobook or some music, and it's just like I'm in the zone. And it's a little more prone to injury, that like running for me, but still I just love the zone of running.
Yeah, depending on where I am in my training, it's kind of a combination of an elliptical and a stepper that I have in here. Sometimes I'll use that, sometimes I'll go outside. It's just whatever I need that day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, stationary bike. Yep. I have a Nordic Track. Is it Nordic Track? Yeah. It's a Nordic Track bike. And we used to use the subscription where you got all these videos and you'd be like riding through the mountains and stuff.
Yeah.
We canceled that. It was kind of expensive. So I just hop on the bike and put a show on, and then I just like adjust the tension and the incline and stuff like manually.
The dogs love when we start pre-contest training because we're getting in more and more. Like in the off season, my baseline is 10,000 steps. But in prep, I may get up to 12,500 or 15,000, and that just means the dogs get to walk more because they're both fast, so they keep me moving. Recon Rage said my exact tenement: if you ever see me running, you need to run because something bad's coming. That's the only time you're gonna see me run.
Put a real bike on the treadmill. There you go.
I've seen that. It didn't end well.
Yeah, no. All right, let's spin the next one. Yeah, I don't know, man. I love running. I love it so much. All right. 42 entries in 3, 2, 1, go. And this is the second Glyos one, so I want to write the name down. Lone Wolf Labs, nice. Lone
Excellent.
Wolf. Again, email me, and I'll get these out by Saturday. And then let's get into the next one. Let me pull this down. Let me refresh this, figure out what my new hashtag is. The Scarabite. So the Scarabite, again, donated by Ben. So Scarabite from Ben. The Scaraben.
Scaraben. I like it.
And let's see if this is working. Hashtag Scaraben, everybody. And I will pull myself up for a second just to show what you're getting. These two. So these are reverse colorway. So it's the Scarabite colorway. It's a Calgrim with some other parts, and they basically share colors. Super classic, like 80s vibrant color scheme here. Again, Ben G with the amazing giveaway.
Yeah, looked like a Shattered Glass version, or what was the Star Trek episode? Mirror, Mirror.
Mirror universe. Like this guy is the regular universe, like our universe, and then you got Mirror universe.
Yeah, all he needs is a goatee.
Scaraben. Again, thank you to Ben, and a thank you to the Collecting Brothers for donating. I'm hoping to see Ben. Is Ben still here? Ben, are you going to go to Shop the Curiosity? I know you're kind of out that way. I think that's where we met last year, honestly. I want to say, yes, you were there last year, and that's where we may have met for the first time. We got Dork Shop here. Damn it, I was thinking of opening a store. I guess I can't do that now. Nice, Ben. Sweet. Like I said, it's going to be a good one. I want more Star Trek tribute colorways. So far, there's only been a few in Glyos. So I was able to pick up the Spice Fleet. I think there's 5. I got 5. I don't know if that's all of them. I don't know if there's maybe other tributes that like maybe beyond the Toy Pizza stuff, but I love those Spice Fleet figures. They're so good. Hey, we got a super chat.
Nice.
Gumskull. Well, this is the first super chat, so I guess we are kind of just getting started, aren't we? Everybody's tapped out from the dragon. That's why there's no super chats.
The dragon was exhausting.
Welcome, Gumskull. But we are kind of winding down. But thank you for the $10 super chat. And thanks. I didn't do a slideshow today. As always, thanks to all of the members and everything. I think Toy Pizza did original series spacesuit on the diver. Oh, okay. That would be cool. I would check that out. Benny Torres says thank you to the donors of the giveaways. Scare Ben. Yeah, this is a good point, Micah. You're buying in stock figures. They're not pre-orders.
Huh.
Yep. You get them right away, you know? I mean, you know, sometimes it takes a couple weeks, but like pretty much right away. I have a shipment coming, I think tomorrow from Toy Pizza. I bought a little set that was offered to the patrons, just kind of a drop of like a mix of things. What I need is original series red, yellow, blue uniforms on Fade-In, Lion, Traveler, Zullen, or any other basic spaceman body. That'd be cool. All right. We're hitting that 40-ish. Hey, Eric Miller. I was just thinking about you because I'm in my kitchen. Hang on, I'm going to take my headphones off for 1 second. I don't know if you saw where I just went. I went to my pictures. We still have our Christmas pictures up, but your picture is up there, dude. With all my family. It's up there with all my family and friends and stuff. I was just thinking about that, how like, hey, Eric Miller's here with me. I might have to get in on this drop looking at what they go for on eBay, and I'd much rather buy direct. And also, by the way, Eric and I were talking Disney. I booked my Disney trip. We're going in August, which kind of sucks, but
Ooh, you're gonna cook.
it's gonna be hot. It's tough as a teacher though. Like it's really
Yeah.
tough to like. If I could either go at the absolute busiest times of the year or the hottest times of the year, it's kind of like a try to focus on air conditioning.
Yeah, I remember one time I had to, when I was living in Miami, I had to travel for work. And it was right at this time of the year, it's right around spring break, which is another bad week to go to Disney. And my flight went from Miami to Orlando to wherever it was, somewhere in Texas. And when I was leaving when I was coming back, the Orlando to Miami leg, I might have been the only person on the plane not wearing mouse ears.
This is the plan. Super early morning, go back to the hotel in the middle of the day, you know, or like a reservation for like a lunch where it's like AC and then come back later. Do I ever go to Georgia toy conventions? No, I never really get that far south for conventions. I really only go to like stuff kind of up here, New Jersey, Connecticut, New York, you know, Northeast. Grizzlehorn, maybe I'll see you there, Disney in August. We're staying at the Port Orleans. And then Eric says they've been in August. It's hot, but still amazing. I'm pretty good with heat. Like I'm like, I tend to enjoy heat. I know I'm not going to enjoy that kind of heat, but like, it'll be a lot bearable for me than for a lot of other people.
Yeah, people like me.
Yeah, my daughter's super excited to go to the Galaxy's Edge, as am I, obviously. But like,
Yeah.
this is all about my daughter's trip.
My manager he and his wife are huge Disney people, and they go every year. And he said that the Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run, I think it's called, he said it's just amazing. Yeah. He said he would have stood in line for 3 hours to ride that.
I can't wait. Okay, I'm going to spin the Scarab in 3, 2, 1. As always, email me at podcast@DorkLair.com. Let me know where to send it. I will get these out probably by Saturday morning. Micah Cleary. Congratulations, Micah.
Congratulations.
Awesome. Let me know what your address is, and I will ship those out. Yes, it'll be my first time at Galaxy's Edge. It'll be my first time at Disney World. I've never been. It's like walking around a perfect Star Wars diorama. Let me pull this down. Pull this down. All right. Sorry I didn't have a slideshow tonight, everybody. I was a little busy today getting my family out. So what's going on is my family's basically going to stay in. I'm in Boston, and my family's going to stay in Western Mass for tonight and tomorrow, and then through the weekend, because Sunday's Easter, and it's like the biggest holiday. On my wife's side of the family, it's like the biggest holiday of the year. It's amazing. Greek cooking.
Oh, yeah.
So good. So I totally look forward to it, but they couldn't like, I couldn't get today off. Tomorrow off. I couldn't get tomorrow off, so I had to stay. So I'm probably going to leave Saturday morning so that I don't have to drive. Friday traffic blows. Love, peace, and chicken grease. I'm going to be eating lamb. All right. Well, that'll probably do it, I guess. Larry, you got Easter plans?
Next week, there should, huh?
You got Easter plans?
Yeah, it's actually, we kind of put our foot down this year. Our families all kind of use us as a rope and tug of war whenever the holidays come around. So we just sent out an edict. We said, going to Mom's for Mother's Day, Dad's coming here for Father's Day. We're going to Steph's family for her niece's graduation weekend, and Easter is ours. So we have a couple of couples that we go to church with, and we've got we were going to go to the sunrise service, but we're kind of thinking better of it. We're thinking maybe 8 o'clock, 8:30. So we'll be a little more clear-headed.
The Greeks do a midnight mass. So like my wife and mother-in-law, Saturday night, they'll be going to midnight mass.
Yeah, we've got a couple across a family across the street that go to one of the Catholic churches. Actually, the wife works there, and that's what they'll be doing on Saturday night.
Yeah.
So if we go anywhere Saturday, we're not going up that road because there'll be no getting up and down that road. So I saw her earlier, and she was like, "Yep." She goes, "All the lapsed Catholics will be doing their, it's Easter and Christmas." She said, "All the lapsed Catholics will be doing one of their twice a year." She said, "So stay away."
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Like my mother-in-law will come back from midnight mass at like 3 a.m. and just cook, and then she'll go to bed at like 5, and then wake up at like 9 or something like
Start
that.
cooking,
and then keep cooking the main stuff, and it's crazy. It's like a full-blown event.
Usually we would enjoy doing like a big brunch or something like that, but Steph's contest prep started this past week, so her birthday last week was our last hurrah, so we're kind of on lockdown now until September. So here we go. But yeah, we're looking forward to it.
Cool. Well, thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight, and congrats to all the winners. Thanks again to the Collecting Brothers. Thanks again to Benji. Benji, I'll see you in a couple of weeks at Shop the Curiosity. And thanks, everybody. Until next time. May the force be with you.
Follow me into the door.